my friends, it's diys-by-dar, and today I thought we'd try a quick little painting project. Since everybody's stuck inside, mostly, and I definitely am because I'm 3.5 weeks post my second hip replacement, and my back went out yesterday. So I'm not moving around a lot. So we have a 16 by 20 blank canvas, and the supplies you're going to need is a 1-inch, just a house painting brush. This one you can see has been really used a lot. Then I've got just a small round brush, and I think I'll try one of these angled brushes. You only need 4 paint colors, mostly white, then black, then brown, and then some earthy green. If you want to draw on your sticks, you can use a watercolor pencil or just a regular pencil. It's okay. Or if you have some chalk, some white chalk, that works too. And then just a throwaway foam plate and a little misting bottle, because you will need to mist your picture as you're going.
We're going to start with white, and then I'm going to go to the brown. I'm just showing you how much you need to put on a plate so you're not wasting too much paint. Then we're going to go ahead and that was the brown, and then the last one is the green, and you just need a very little bit of the green, not a whole lot. So what we're going to do is wet the brush. Also with the mister bottle, this is a mister bottle, not one that does a lot of spray, because you don't want a lot of spray hitting on your canvas. This is mist, and I did get this bottle from Dixie Belle Paints, and it's a pretty nice mister bottle. I use it for a lot of different projects. I'm just adding the white. You just want to take it back and forth, up and down, and right up to that edge, so you have good coverage. Taking it one way, then the other way. If you feel that the paint's getting a little bit stiff and not moving, just mist it real light. Once we have that color down, I'm going to add a little bit of that black, and we're going to blend that in, taking it up and taking it across. And if you start to feel that that paint is getting draggy and it's not moving where you want it, light mist. Light mist. I'm going to use the same brush. I'm going to add more white, moving it back up into that space. This is our background, and we're just blending it, so it doesn't really matter. I'm adding a little bit of green, just trying to put that in there. Could be a background. Maybe there's a little greenery behind it, and then pretty soon I am going to incorporate some brown into that, but keep your paint wet, movable. There's the brown, and I'm going to go one direction, then the other direction. I'm actually wetting the tray as well to keep the paints moist that are on the tray. Adding some more white. Kind of really need to go in for the ending here, because that paint is going to start to dry up above there, and I want to get this bottom blended in. So I'm quickly adding in the bottom base of white, blending that in to the top one more time, taking it one direction then the other, and then I'm going to come back and hit them corners with the black, and keep blending one way then the other. Don't forget to add that water if it starts to feel draggy. Okay, I have the pencil, and I know you can't really see where I'm drawing, but when I start to paint it, you'll see where the branches are. And you can use a pencil. A lot of people use chalk. Some people use watercolor pencils. And I do apologize, you can't really see it, but as soon as I start to paint, you'll be able to. So here comes the first branch, and I am using the angled brush, because one of the really cool things that an angled brush can do, and you can kind of see it right there, is if you turn it to the point end, you can get a nice fine line, and as you go, you turn that brush and it'll get wider and wider. And you just have to try it, is all I can tell you. Experience with that brush will show you what I'm talking about. You want to get the main branches in, and you have to remember the bigger part of that branch is going to be coming from the outside, and as it comes to the ends, the points, that's the furthest away from the tree. And I'm going to go ahead and just paint in roughly where I want some of these main branches to be, and they don't have to be perfect to start. You can paint yours any direction that you want. This is why I put two different paintings there. I did them a day apart, because depending on what kind of mood you're in and how you're feeling may dictate where your lines are going that day. And I guess that's what sometimes makes it hard for an artist to recreate something completely that somebody else wants, when it just depends on how you feel that day. And usually you're going to want to do what you're going to want to do. And what can I say? That's the dilemma that artists have. So I switched now, and I have the round brush, and I'm just drawing in some little secondary branches that are breaking off and coming down. And just think about what you see when you look at a tree. You see them branching off like that into smaller and smaller sections. Just do what you feel. There's no right or wrong way. There's your way. There's never a mistake. And if there's a mistake, just try to fix it up as best you can and leave it. And the overall scope of that picture, when you're standing far away from it, it's not really going to be a big deal. So continue to make them little secondary branches, and we'll come back and discuss it from there. At this point, I am pretty satisfied with the branches, and I am going to show you a close-up of this in a moment here, but basically I'm just going back over the branches, and if there's any areas that maybe the paint didn't completely adhere that great, I just go back and make a little bump on the tree, because that's the way trees look. And I'm adding just little like new growth pods that usually open in the spring, and they're all going to be heading downwards, of course, because that is what our rain is going to fall off of, the very tips of those.
Alright, I thought I'd give you guys a little close-up on what this is. You can see that these are just willy-nilly black lines, and how you're going to add some detail is the little buds that usually are on these black lines. And even if it's not, your line ain't that good, just go back a little bit. I mean, trees are not perfect things. Go over it and just make it a little bit thicker. But what you want to remember is the thickest point of your branch should be where it's coming out. And as you get down closer to the end, that's where the thinner portion will be. The only other thing besides adding a few more lumpy bumps on there is we're going to add some little seed pods, because this is spring, and spring showers bring May flowers. There's that time when the rain starts to come down, and they have these little tiny seedlings, and just make little lines coming off the bottom. That's all you need. You don't even have to be in detail, because that is where our little raindrops are going to come from. So just add them like that. Just one little mark like that. That's all you need to add. Take the time that you need to do it. I'm going to finish my little marks up. Then the only thing we have left to do is put the little raindrop ends on, and she's good to go. All right, home stretch. Last thing we have to do is just put the little white raindrops wherever you feel you'd like to put a few. You don't have to put them on all of them. Just think about where, if the rain would be hitting it, where you'd want it to come down off of the branch. And it's just going to take one little brush and completely white paint, and you're just going to dot the white paint on. And start up at the top, work your way across, and then work your way down, because if you start here, then you're sticking your arm in the paint. So you should be almost there, them little white dots. Then you'll be done, and you did it. Wasn't that hard? You can make multiple different types of these.
with the tree branches going different directions. This is why I gave the example here. They're a lot of fun, and they really, really look awesome on your wall. Thanks for having fun with me today.